What is up guys, Jarv here back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we have a full guide for the Solstice of Heroes 2021 event. In this video today we break down the entire event, how to quickly upgrade your armor, the most efficient way to complete the armor's objectives, but also the location to a secret cat over in the European aerial zone, and the most efficient route for collecting all the chests in the EAZ. So if you're looking for the most efficient way to get everything done, be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now upon this week's weekly reset, we saw the launch of the Solstice of Heroes. This begins on the 6th of July and runs through until the weekly reset on the 3rd of August. Now this sees the return of the European aerial zone and a free player match made activity. Now over on the European aerial zone, you'll have 5 minutes to defeat as many mini bosses as you possibly can, and the more mini bosses you can defeat, the more loot caches that will spawn at the end of the encounter. When the 5-minute timer is up, you'll have 2 minutes to collect as many caches as you possibly can. And these caches will offer Solstice packages and Solstice key fragments. Now these will be key to unlocking some of the loot that this event has to offer. So if you're looking to unlock additional roles, high stat rolls, potentially the Solstice armor, as well as the Compass Throw shotgun, a brand new exclusive weapon for this year's event, then you'll need to know the location to all the loot caches in the EAZ, and we'll be covering those later in the video. Now to open these Solstice packages, you'll need the key fragments that will drop alongside them in the EAZ. You'll need 15 key fragments per package, with each package offering armor, weapons, materials, as well as Solstice gear if you're looking to farm that out. A key thing to remember though is that the loot from those packages does depend on the armor set that you're completing. So for example, loot dropping from the Renewed or Majestic set from the packages won't be as desirable as the loot from the Magnificent set. So if you hold on to your packages and key fragments until you have a Magnificent set on at least one character, then by handing these in, you'll have a much better chance of getting some decent loot. For example, additional Solstice armor, but also enhancement prisms and higher upgrade materials. Now this brings us nicely onto the Solstice armor sets themselves. Now there are 3 armor sets for this year's event. We have the Renewed set, the Majestic set, and the Magnificent set of armor. And as you upgrade through these 3 tiers, each tier will unlock new armor visuals and effects. Now you can view the progress towards each armor piece by hovering over the armor piece in your character screen, and it's important to remember that progress towards armor objectives is only progressed when that armor is equipped. So just having it in your inventory alone won't be enough, and you'll need to wear the armor to complete those objectives. Now there are 4 objectives for both the Renewed and Majestic sets, and for the first 2 sets of armor, these objectives can only be completed during the Solstice of Hero event. The Magnificent sets of armor have challenges associated to them, but these final challenges can be completed after the conclusion of the event. And to save yourself a huge amount of time, it's important to remember that you first need to obtain all 3 Magnificent sets before attempting to complete the challenges. Whilst the challenges do vary for each armor piece, they are all the same for each class. And as well as this, they aren't retroactive. So if you complete them on one character first, then later on go to unlock additional Magnificent sets for your other classes, you'll need to repeat these challenges to complete those objectives. So to make the most of your time for the Solstice of Hero event, focus on the Renewed and Majestic objectives first, and once you've unlocked all the Magnificent sets for all classes, then complete the challenges, and this will be the most efficient way of fully upgrading your armor. Now to further help you progress the objectives on your armor faster, this year they have introduced armor Accelerants. So as you complete the armor objectives, you'll gain access to these new Accelerants from Eva over in the tower. And the idea behind these Accelerants is that they will increase the progress made towards future Solstice armor objectives. So for example, if you complete 1 Renewed armor set, this will unlock the Rare Armor Accelerator 1, and this will double your progress on any other classes. And once you've completed 2 sets of Renewed armor, you'll unlock Rare Armor Accelerator 2, and this will triple the progress on your final class. Now the same applies for the Majestic set for the Legendary Armor Accelerators. So once you've completed 1 set of Majestic armor, this will unlock the Legendary Armor Accelerator 1. Once again, this will double your progress for any other classes, and once you've completed a second class, it will triple your progress, unlocking Legendary Armor Accelerator 2. This should make completing all the objectives for this year's event a lot quicker than previous years, and as a lot of the objectives don't require you to specifically play Crucible or Gambit, we have a little bit more freedom this year on the activities we choose to play. Now as well as upgrading your armor, there are 4 glows to unlock. Now to unlock the white glow, you need to complete your Magnificent set, with each challenge completion specifically applying the glow to that armor piece. You can unlock 4 additional armor glows. You can pick these up from Eververse over in the tower, but to get your hands on these you first need to complete at least one magnificent set of armor objectives. But once you've completed those objectives, the colour of your glow will be dependent on the subclass that you have equipped. So if you want to get your hands on these awesome glows, you'll first need to jump into the Solstice of Hero event to get those Majestic objectives underway. Now, as for the Magnificent set and their challenges, there are 4 challenges that we can currently see. Now, one of those is by defeating champions or guardians in either competitive Crucible, and this includes Trials of Osiris or the Glory playlists. The next challenge is by completing a Nightfall on either the Master or Grandmaster difficulty, as well as completing any raid inside Destiny 2. And the final challenge we can see is by completing a Legendary or Master Lost sector, and by completing these objectives, these will apply the armor's white glow. And as we said earlier in the video, make sure you've unlocked all the Magnificent sets for all classes of Guardian before completing these objectives. By unlocking all 3 sets of armor, these will apply across all 3 of your classes. Now this brings us nicely onto the easiest way to complete your armor's objectives. Whilst the Magnificent set has a single challenge associated to it, the Renewed and Majestic set have individual objectives, and these will vary from class to class. Now, a lot of these objectives will require you to complete either lost sectors, playlist activities, or be out on patrol. And whilst there'll be some overlap between Guardians, the elemental burn required, or the way in which you need to defeat combatants, for example either using melee kills or by getting precision final blows, will vary once again from class to class. So to help improve your efficiency on completing these, whilst the EAZ is a match-made activity, where possible try and run as an entire fire team of the same class. You'll be completing all these same objectives together, producing orbs of all the same element too, which will naturally speed up all your progress. Now, some of these objectives will have specific requirements and therefore require you to defeat certain types of combatants in certain activities. Now, with these type of objectives, where possible, try and prioritize the actual activity first, with the generation of orbs or type of combatant kills coming up as a secondary objective. A lot of the time you'll find there is an overlap between the activity you're running and the way that you can defeat combatants, as well as the race of combatants in these activities. And what you'll tend to find is by prioritizing the activity itself, you'll naturally start to complete other objectives on the backburner, speeding up your progress when it comes to focusing on wrapping up any loose ends. Now, with the Solstice event, we get 6 brand new triumphs. One of them is called Maximum Declination, so we need to obtain a legendary Solstice armor piece. We also have Flash of Daylight, where we have to earn a piece of Solstice armor by completing a challenge. Next, we have Partially Resplendid, so we need to acquire a glow for our Solstice armor set for any class, and this will grant you the Brightest Stars emblem. We also have the Refractory Warrior, where we need to defeat bosses on Prism Day, as well as Cosmetically Resplendid, and this is where we acquire glows for all our Solstice armor sets, and by completing this you'll get your hands on a sweet new exotic ghost. But the main one we're looking at is the Solstice Cat Snacks, and by feeding the secret cat on the European Aerial Zone, this will grant you a Retold Tale shotgun in the Dreaming City. Now, this was discovered over 2 years ago, and if you're not too sure of its exact location, be sure to follow the route that you're seeing here on screen, and this will take you directly to a secret vault. Now, 2 years ago we did need to use a sparrow in order to breach our way past this railing. However, this is likely to change as part of the 2021 event. In fact, 2 years ago there was even a classified Solstice key, so could this make a return and be a requirement to open the door, which will gain access to the Dreaming City cat here in the European Aerial Zone. Another question mark as well is, what do we feed this cat? It's unlikely to be anything that's available from the Dreaming City, as once you find all the cats on that location, those consumables no longer drop, so it's likely to be a new consumable. But as soon as we have any updates, I'll be sure to pin that to the comment down below. And finally, we're going to take a look at all the European Aerial Zone chest locations. Now, last year we had a few new chests, but with that being said, whilst there may be new chests this year, we can follow the same strategy in order to make sure we are covering as much ground as possible to locate as many chests as possible for the final 2 minutes of each run. Now, if you're running in a fire team of 3, it's more than possible to cover the entire European Aerial Zone. Now, to help you guys out, we've broken the map down into 3 routes, with a specific route for each guardian of your fire team. Now, each chest on the ground level is identified in red, with every chest above ground being identified in white. Now, for your first guardian, you need to start off over by the A teleporter in the top left side of the map. From this location, you want to work your way down through the mall and the town, focusing on all the chests on the ground level. You want to meander your way down towards the D teleporter. And once you take the D teleporter, this will drop you on top of the factory. And from here you can locate the last couple of chests, which can be found above ground. Now for the second Guardian in your fire team, once again we need to prioritize the ground chest first, but this time we're going to be starting in the top right corner of the map. Once again you need to meander your way down through the ruins as well as the garage, not forgetting to visit the hidden room, which you can access by going through a wrecked bus. But once you've meandered your way down, you want to take the B teleporter, and this will drop you on top of the mall. And much like Guardian 1, you now need to navigate your way across the rooftops, focusing on any chest you can find above ground. And the third and final Guardian, and probably the most important one, starts off in the south side of the map in the courtyard. Once again you are on ground level and you need to meander your way up towards the factory, and as you approach the factory you want to loop around inside from the right hand side, eventually taking the A teleporter. Now the A teleporter will drop you on top of the rooftops between the ruins and the garage, and once again once you're on the rooftops you need to be focusing on any chest you can find above ground. And if you have all 3 members of your fire team following these routes, you can cover the entire European aerial zone, both ground and above level. This will mean whether there's new chests or not, you'll be able to locate them all within that 2-minute time frame. So there we have it guys, a good look at Solstice of Heroes 2021, how to get key fragments, how to efficiently level up your armor, also how to identify and locate all the European aerial zone loot chests. Now if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for further Destiny 2 content. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.